You come home with a plan. You know exactly what you need to do. You've known for weeks, maybe months. You sit down, open the laptop, and something just stops. You close the tab, open YouTube, watch something, say three things you'll never go back to. An hour later, nothing has moved. And the worst part, that wasn't a bad night. That's every night. This isn't a motivational problem. This is psychology. And once you understand what's actually happening in your brain, the pattern finally makes sense. And more importantly, it finally becomes fixable. Let me paint you a picture of what's actually going on. You are not lazy. Lazy is not who you are. Lazy is what you have been doing, and there is a difference. What you actually are is someone living in a constant state of conflict. One part of you wants to build something. The part has vision, the ideas, the drive. The part lies awake at night thinking about everything you could create. But another part of you wants to stay safe. That part wants comfort. That part is terrified of starting. Not because starting is hard, but because starting means finding out whether you're actually as capable as you believe you are. And right now, the safe part is winning. Not because you're weak, because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Here's the science. When you're thinking about working on your own goals, your brain registers it as a threat. It sees effort, it sees uncertainty, it sees the possibility that you try and it doesn't work. And your brain, at the end of a full shift, is already running on 2%. A brain at 2% does one thing. It protects itself. So it offers you something easier. The phone, the shorts, the scroll, a small hit of relief that makes the discomfort disappear. And every time you take that hit, your brain learns that avoiding your goal feels good. So it keeps encouraging you to avoid. That is not a character flaw. That is a feedback loop. And a feedback loop can be interrupted. But here's the one thing nobody tells you. There is a deeper reason you stay stuck. And it is harder to admit than fatigue or distraction. You are in love with your own potential. Think about it. As long as you never fail, you get to keep believing you could be great, that you have what it takes, that one day, when conditions are right, when you feel ready, that you will do something remarkable. The protection is costing you everything. Perfectionism is not about high standards. Perfectionism is fear disguised as excellence. It is your brain giving you a socially acceptable reason to never begin. Because if you never begin, you can never find out that maybe the idea wasn't as good as it seemed in your head. That maybe the execution is harder than you imagined. That maybe you are not as far ahead as you thought. That fear is not weakness. That fear is human. Every ambitious person you admire has felt it. The difference is they started anyway. Here is the line I want you to remember. Failure is not the opposite of success. Inaction is. When you fail, you learn something. When you do nothing, you learn nothing. And every day you choose the couch over the laptop, you are not resting. You are teaching your brain that your goals do not matter. You are building a habit of avoidance so deep that breaking it gets harder every single day you wait. So how do you actually break the loop? 3 steps. Each one takes less than 60 seconds to apply tonight. Step 1, the minimum input. Stop aiming at the task. Aim at the open. Not working on the channel, just open the document. Not going to the gym, just putting on the shoes. Not writing the script, just typing one sentence. Your brain at 2% sees the full mountain and shuts down. That is a rational response to an irrational demand on a flat battery. But opening a document costs almost zero energy. The resistance drops. The feedback loop starts. The battery finds charge it didn't know it had. Engineers call this a cold start problem. The hardest moment for any system is first ignition. Once it's running, it runs. Quick action tonight. Pick one thing you've been meaning to start. Don't do it, just open it. That's your only job. Step 2, the identity swap. Stop saying I can't make myself start. That is a restriction. It builds resistance. Start saying I don't wait to feel ready. That is not what you're restricting. That is who you are. And your brain will start building behavior around it. Because here's what discipline actually is. It's not the ability to act when you feel motivated. It is the ability to act when every part of you wants to run away. You're not trying to feel ready. You are trying to show up. Those are completely different goals. And only one of them is actually achievable tonight. So quick action. Say it out loud right now. I don't wait to feel ready. Then open the document. Step 3, the relapse protocol. You will have nights where even step 1 doesn't work. You'll open the document and you'll close it. You'll put on the shoes and then you take them off. You lie on the couch and you stay there. That is not a failure. That is data. When you miss a night, ask one question. What drained my buffer today? Was it the shift, a difficult conversation, poor sleep, something I ate? Find the trigger. Adjust the input for tomorrow and then return immediately to step 1. The plane doesn't need to see the destination. It just needs to start moving again. And stop beating yourself up. Guilt does not motivate you. Shame does not make you better. Every night you lie in bed hating yourself for another wasted day, you are making the problem worse. Forgiveness is not letting yourself off the hook. Forgiveness is giving yourself permission to try again without carrying the weight of every night you didn't. Quick action. Write down one thing that drained you today. That is tomorrow's starting point. Here is what I want you to understand. You are not broken. You are not hopeless. You are not lazy. You are stuck in a pattern, and a pattern can be changed. The version of you that executes, that actually builds the thing, that ships the work, that shows up consistently, that version is not a different person with different abilities. That version just stopped waiting to feel ready. Ambition without action is just fantasy, and wishing will not build the life you want, but one small input tonight will. So don't start the goal, start the open. If this hits, subscribe. 3 videos a week, all built around one idea. You already know what to do. Let's build a system that makes you actually do it. Grab the free executor kit in the description, the exact checklist I used to solve my own cold start problem after a full shift. Free, link right below. Drop a comment. What is the one thing you've been meaning to start but haven't? I'll reply to every single one. Let's grow together.